Welcome back to the Rundown. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. But as we all know, I do not do this program by myself.
That's right. My name is Mike Piworsky, coming to you live from the East Coast. It's the coast with the most from the co-host with the most here on the Rundown. Two-way views, conservative news. Craig, happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed.
Hey, stop what you're doing, cause I'm about to ruin the image of me that you're used to. I look money, a king bee making honey, see? Each state, I hope you're ready for me. Now gather round, I'm the new sheriff in town. All my people rise up and stand your ground. Now drink up all the Diet Coke you got on your shelf. So just let me introduce myself, my name is Trump D. I like my mashed potatoes lumpy. Fake news, oh how I like to punk thee. That little sniper on the slow tin, he took a shot but he missed me. I don't fall, y'all, I'm like the ever-ready bunny. Still going strong and spunky. So put on your big boy pants. Come on, let's do the dance.
Trumpy dance, it's your chance to do the Trump.
Come on, do the Trumpty Trump. Come on and do the Trumpty Trump. Check me out, y'all. We do the Trumpty Trump. Just watch me do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing? We do the Trumpty Trump. Come on, everybody do the Trumpty Trump. It's time to do the Trumpty Trump. Yeah.
That's right, folks. We're doing the Trumpty Trump because we're having that good of a day. Well, because, you know, we have the greatest president of our lifetime.
He's pretty darn good. I'll give you that. He's pretty darn good.
It's kind of hard to argue against it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. The guy's he's winning, right? I think he's got tiger blood. I think that's what he's got.
Well, there you go. And what it is, here's the thing, folks. He's winning, which means we are winning.
Yeah. Yep. My pocket's winning.
It is definitely hard to argue against that fact. He's winning, so we're winning, which means basically America is winning. So anyway, good stuff. How was your weekend, my friend?
What did I do? It seems like I did stuff. I'm not sure what I did.
Feels like you did stuff. Not sure exactly what it was. I'm sure you got some work done.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's always the radio show on Saturday, and then of course, it was Oktoberfest, another weekend of Oktoberfest parties. So.
Ooh, yes, Oktoberfest. Oktoberfest is always fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially since it's like 3 months long.
Well, Florida does tend to over celebrate it. You know, they started September and ending the end of October. They put it about 7-8 weeks long, as opposed to the 20 days or the 14, 15 days it's supposed to be in Germany.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, hey, we're not going to complain, are we?
Oh no.
No, we are not going to complain.
The Oktoberfest actually is the kickoff for the training for SHOT Show.
There you go. That is true, folks. You must understand how important and how vital it is to train for SHOT Show, because you can't like show up on the floor at 8 o'clock in the morning doing interviews all day till 5 o'clock in the evening, then go out and hang out and drink most of the evening and evening into the night until about 4 or 5 in the morning, and then get up in the morning and do the exact same thing the next day without training.
It's like anything you do. As long as you condition yourself for it, you'll be good to go. I just got my two new SHOT Show pair of shoes in. So I'm starting the break-in period on them very gently. That will be
very nice
while I'm there.
Well, good time will be had by all, as usual.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. Well, let's go ahead. Let's get prepared. Let's go ahead and we're going to get ready to start to get into today's program. But before we do, we're going to do as we usually do, and as we're going to start off with a quick shout out to our sponsors.
That's right. Hitman Industry Studios. Check them out at hitmanindustries.net. You can get AR barrels at any caliber you like, any length you desire, pistol caliber, rifle caliber. They've got it all, plus an incredible amount of other specialty barrels that you can order from them. It's hitmanindustries.net. California Republican Assembly, fighting a good fight behind enemy lines. Now you can take part in California's future today. If you want the best in tactical concealed holsters on the market, get on over to Hog Holsters. It's HAWGholsters.com, hogholsters.com. Discount code to Rundown. It's all one word, no spaces, all caps. Get yourself a nice little discount. And if you want the best in field gear, tactical gear, web gear, law enforcement, security, EMS, paintball, whatever it is, they've got it. Get your group together, get your agency together, place an order at uscombatgear.com, where you can get everything except the gun.
That's right, folks. These are our sponsors. They bring us to you so that we can bring you to them. Do us a favor, do them a favor, do yourself a favor. Visit their websites. It's real simple. We make it real simple for you. All you have to do is follow the links in the description of this program. Go to their website, spend some money with them, and make sure you tell them that it was the guys over at the Rundown that sent you. Also want to encourage you, if you're watching the program live, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, we are taking your comments, right? We're live. We record it during this time and replay it later, just in case there's any bugs or anything. We replay it to a bunch of different outlets later. But for the most part, hey, this is the run, man. This is a chance where you get a chance to participate in the program. So do us a favor. Go ahead and let us know what's up. Let us know what you think about the program. If you agree with us, disagree with us, no worries. We don't care if you disagree with us. Just know that if you disagree with us, we do reserve the right to mock you because, well, it's fun.
Oh wow, is that a mockingbird?
I really wanted to use this particular piece because I think it really speaks to some of the concerns that we necessarily have regarding rights, and the fact that someone who's not a gun guy gets it makes it that much more salient. Here it's a Second Amendment showdown. The California bans Glock handguns in major challenge to gun rights. California Governor Gavin Newsom has signed the long-anticipated Responsible Gun Manufacturing Act, Assembly Bill 1127, a law that may now trigger a major challenge under the Second Amendment. The law banned the Glock semi-automatic guns that are a favorite of American gun owners, including former Vice President Kamala Harris. The law constitutes one of the most ambitious gun bans since the Supreme Court ruled in District of Columbia v. Heller in 2008 that gun ownership is an individual right. At the time, Justice Antonin Scalia stressed that the Second Amendment protects all types of firearms in common use at the time for lawful purposes like self-defense. Gun control advocates have been chipping away at this concept by arguing that a variety of popular weapons, such as the AR-15, cannot be considered in common use at this time of the ratification. Scalia, however, joined Justice Clarence Thomas in 2015 in a dissent in the denial of Century in Freeman versus Highland Park involving a local ban on semi-automatic firearms. Thomas wrote that several courts of appeals have upheld categorical bans on firearms that millions of Americans commonly own for lawful purposes, and that such rulings are non-compliance with our Second Amendment precedents. Thomas noted that such rulings suggested that states could ban AR-style semi-automatic rifles, even though an overwhelming majority of citizens who own and use such rifles do so for lawful purposes, including self-defense and target shooting. Under our precedents, that is all that is needed for citizens to have a right under the Second Amendment to keep the weapons. Now, Mike, what's interesting about this, once again, is now the AR-15 is in fact the most commonly owned rifle in America. And now you've got the state of California. It's not going to be challenged, but the value of actually challenging it helps to put things in place, because then
Bruin decision, it's pretty clear. But although they continue to fight it, but the big advantage now, Craig, is if that there's no more can a federal judge come along and say, listen, this is my district, I'm going to give a nationwide ruling. Well, you can't do.
But in the end, what's going to wind up happening is the courts are going to rule on this, and it's going to make it better for all of America, including Californians. Now, the funny part about this is the reason why they're banning it is because basically the older model Glocks can actually be modified to be fully automatic. Now, in newer model Glocks, that's not an issue. But then again, we can't buy newer model Glocks in California because of the not unsafe handgun roster.
Yeah, there's one of the locking bars in the early generations, where you could modify that, and you see those things called the Glock switches that go in there, and they hold that bar out of the way, so it allows it to continue to cycle as you hold the trigger down.
And other than fighting between some local militias and Hamas in Gaza, no Israeli fighting, no Israelis are fighting with anybody. Peace appears to have broken out in the Middle East. Here we go. Let me pull up the story here. This being reported over there at Breitbart News. As Donald Trump, Middle East
helped settle in the past, nations with Hamas and with Netanyahu.
No, I did not.
I guess when he was talking to Netanyahu, they wanted the time to look at it, and he said, "Quit looking for loopholes. Sign the damn thing, or you'll be over here on your own fighting Hamas." And then when he went to Hamas, they said, "Well, what guarantee do we have that Israel won't do anything?" And Trump told him, "If you do anything, then unions in the city."
Yeah, that sounds like that sounds like real stuff. Now, let's understand though. There's a couple of things to understand about this quote unquote peace deal, or at least about the hostage release. For basically 28, there are about 20 hostages that were still alive, and about 28 that are deceased. So they released the bodies. For that, Israel has released hundreds of captured combatants. These are not just random prisoners. These are not just random citizens who have been kidnapped by Israel. These are people who were on the battlefield attempting to kill Israelis, attempting to kill Jews. So that was the hostage exchange. I still, for the life, you are right. You're 100% right. But I'm still like this. I wish we were at the end of the war. How about that? I doubt we are. I think we're at a moment of ceasefire. There are a lot of steps still to go.
Yeah, and again, the thing I like about this, and from what I've seen of it, is again, if Hamas violates this, they've agreed to total annihilation. From the rocks up. Anybody that's there is going to. It doesn't matter who they are. It's going to be, the carpet bombing of an entire piece of land, and at the end of it, they'll plow it over and make a parking lot.
That pretty much sounds like how it's going to go down.
Well, then they win. They win later. Then
there you go. Anyway, it will be interesting to say. It will be interesting to say the least. It's funny though, once again, to see and to hear all of the people on the left get around and talk about how, the fact that allowing peace to happen, right? Here's, matter of fact, here she is right here on video, right? And this, once again, this is just before the historic peace deal, basically accusing Israel of a genocide.
When this airs, President Trump will be on his way to the Middle East. They have this deal between Israel and Palestine. Both former Secretaries of State Hillary Clinton and Antony Blinken have commended President Trump for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Do you agree with them? Should he be commended?
Look, I don't think that we should hold in credit where it's due. I mean, first of all, let me say about that deal, I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force, that aid goes in. And I commend the people who have been a part of this process. I'd commend the Qataris, the Egyptians, and the president.
A lot of folks in your party have called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Do you agree with that?
I think that, listen, it is a term of law that a court will decide, but I will tell you that when you look at the number of children that have been killed, the number of innocent civilians that have been killed, the refusal to give aid and support, we should all step back and ask this question and be honest about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically right there, she's saying, yeah, it's a genocide. And by the way, genocide has nothing to do with any of the things that she just mentioned. A genocide is an attempt, a deliberate attempt to eliminate, to destroy, to kill an entire group of people based on religion, based on nationality, yada, yada, yada. And considering the fact that 20% of the Israeli population, and we're talking about not people who live in Gaza, but people who live in Israel, right? Who serve in parliament, who teach in the schools, who are part of their law enforcement. 20% of them are Muslim Arabs. I'm finding it very difficult to see how that is a genocide. I mean, if they're genociding, they're very bad at it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, she's an idiot, right? I mean, that's all we have to say. You hear her comments again. She's searching for answers. She's going back to whatever she was told to say during the debate. Yeah, that sounds like all she's got. Um, I did send you, Craig, while we're sitting here, a pair of stories about Biden and his team claiming credit for this. So
Yeah, I got. So here's the one. It says here, Blinken, Abe Blinken,
yep, hey, Blinken.
says claims Trump's Gaza ceasefire drew from Biden era framework. The former Secretary of State says Trump's Gaza breakthrough wasn't original, sparking debate over who deserves credit. Former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken on Monday said President Donald Trump's 20-point peace plan for Gaza Strip was based on one developed by the Biden administration. In a lengthy post on X, Blinken, who served in the Biden administration, outlined how Trump was able to secure the peace agreement. He noted that the Arab states and Turkey have said enough to Hamas, and said the response also showed that other Iran-backed groups, Hezbollah and Yemen's Houthi rebels, were not coming to Hamas's aid. Now, the funny part about all of that is, Mike, and let's just break it down. He's not wrong in that those particular things changed and opened the door to peace or to this happening. But why did those things happen?
Yeah, exactly right, Craig. Listen, let's say he stole it word for word. Who got it done, right? And and what are the things what are these 20 points? Okay, stop shooting at each other, return hostages, let's call a ceasefire, let's make peace, right? Okay, I think those are the same things to stop any war, no matter who's writing up the plan.
Well, yeah, and but like you said, who got it done? And if it were not for the fact that Donald Trump basically, I mean, really what Donald Trump did was he let Israel do what they had to do. And I get it. Should he really get all the credit? No, but then again, if Biden had done what Trump did, which is basically let Israel do their thing,
Yeah,
this could have ended a while ago.
exactly.
Instead, you were slow walking it. You were accusing them of a genocide. Right? You were giving Hamas the moral victory in the media that they were after. You were handing victory to them. And Donald Trump wasn't going to do that. He didn't do that. And as a result, and once again, I think the straw that broke the camel's back was when they let down, when they said, look, go into Qatar and get him. And when they went into Qatar, and they basically, as a part of this in these negotiations, told Qatar, look, your sovereignty means bupkis to us. We're coming back. If we don't get it, we didn't get him, and if we don't get him, if we get a shot at him again, we're coming back, and we're gonna get him. And if we take any of your citizens with us, well, that's on you for hiding them there.
That's it. That's exactly right.
Yeah, it ain't rocket science, folks. It definitely ain't rocket science. All right, moving right along. The next story here. Well, I already said I had the one where Harris accused him. Oh, here we go. Hundreds of naked bike riders protest ICE in Portland. Wow, does this qualify as peaceful protest? I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on
The radio show that there's a difference between naked and buck naked, and these people are not buck naked. They're naked, Like there's some topless people, and by the way, you want to get your stuff on the news. Maybe you find one or two attractive people to take part in it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's just one or two. These people they're not naked. They're not butt naked. There might be some topless people, and that guy's not wearing pants. Yeah. And did you notice the ones that were truly naked? They weren't sitting on the bike seats, Craig. That's too much. Can't do that.
Well, no, they probably, especially since it was raining out there, they probably slide right off the bike seats.
Yeah,
That could cause
right.
some damage.
You don't want to be sliding around on a cold, wet bike seat. That's for sure. Yeah.
No, you most definitely do not want to be sliding around on a butts. Yeah, that is kind of gross. Now that I think about it. All right, sir. Well, that's gonna.